Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. This is it.
This is Top Flight Time Machine. I am Andy Hotbody Dawson. Pow, pow, pow.
I am Sam Nifty Delaney. So what?
Welcome along. It's the Monday morning episode, and you get it on on Sunday evening if you are an IFS subscriber. If you are, thank you very much for subscribing. We appreciate it very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you see that lion that escaped in Italy?
I did, yeah.
Incredible.
Very, 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 very interesting and exciting.
It's an animal of interest, isn't it?
It's
it immediately became an animal of interest.
The way what I like about it is the casualness with which it's fucking. It's like, yeah, what's the matter with you?
All right, cunts.
Not seen a fucking lion out for a little evening stroll before, have you?
I mean, we could call it not an animal of interest, a beast of interest almost, if you like.
He's just fucking a lion in a bat. Don't mind me. I'm just lying in a bat. It's good to get a bit of fresh air in your lungs in the evening. Because the thing is, with me, especially on a Sunday night, I can get tired. And when I get tired, I can get grumpy. And I do have a temper. But the thing is, I notice it in myself now. When I was younger, I'd see red and then fuck knows. I'd snap. I'd black out, I'd wake up, and there'd just be limbs everywhere, right? Yeah. Antelope limbs, usually. Now, I can see it coming on the horizon, and I've learnt through... I've actually been doing a lot of meditation and a lot of cognitive behavioural therapy, which has been very, very useful for me. It means that I can manage my moods much better. I can regulate myself emotionally. And part of that is, if I can feel it coming, I think, right, you know what? You know what, Lion? That's my name, Lion. I think to myself, do you know what? I think I'll just go out for a fucking walk. Just a little walk in the evening there.
In the evening.
And it's nice. And you listen, and I don't put headphones in, nothing like that. I absorb the noises of the wind in the trees
I
and so
become
forth.
at one with nature.
I become at one, and it just makes me feel better. So that's all
it.
I'm doing, and I would appreciate if you didn't all fucking stare at me and make me feel self-conscious.
I don't know how many videos of it there was. I'm assuming there was a few, but there was one that I saw where a woman was just videoing it from an upstairs room, an upstairs window, quite correctly, I think.
Yeah.
And at the end, she just went, "Mamma mia!"
Love it when Italians. Whenever you're in Italy and you hear an Italian actually say "Mamma mia," you can't believe it. You think, "Oh right, you actually do say that. That's not just a joke from like the Muppets or something." Yeah, no, they go in for it, don't they? I saw it when I was on the train on the way to West Ham, and I said to Lenny, I said, if you were walking down the street and you just saw a lion walking about like that, not chasing anyone, not threatening anyone, just having a walk, because that's all this lion's doing.
It's just having a bit prowl about, yeah.
And I said to him, "Would you shit yourself?" And he said, "Yeah."
Yes,
and I said, "What would you do?" And he went, "I'd probably go into the nearest shop."
That's a good
hide
plan.
in there.
Yeah, because they'd be a locked door, wouldn't they?
I was like, it's important for my son to look up to me as an alpha male, right?
Yeah.
And he said, "What about you?" I said, "I wouldn't shit myself at all if I saw a lion coming the other way. What I'd do is I'd leave it alone. If it was if it was running around bloodthirsty and mad, yeah, I'd fucking make myself scarce." I said, "But just walking about, I might nod to it. I nod to a lot of people on the street, all right? Just a little, all right?
Just, I know you're there, you know I'm there.
I'm not going to bother you.
I mean you no harm, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We're all part of the same wonderful community, the melting pot of modern life.
The world.
I am a human, you are a lion. But there is more that we have in common.
More unites us than divides us.
Exactly. That's what I'd say to it. But
we're all being shot on by the man at the end of the day, aren't we?
Exactly. At the end of the day, we're all pawns in the game of the shadowy forces, the puppet masters and Geppettos that control our lives. You have been caged in a zoo for many years, whereas I have been caged in many ways by a capitalist system
in West London. Yeah.
Which is just as suffocating as an actual cage in a zoo in many ways.
Pretty much, it's a mental cage, isn't it?
Yeah,
yeah.
And
I mean, it's like Howard Jones sang in 1983. Throw off your mental chains.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, this lion probably chained up right now, actually.
Well, what about our theme tune? It contains the line, Delaney and Dawson are going to show you how to be free from society's shackles.
Society shackles, that's right, yeah.
It's what we've been trying to do. I'm not sure if we've ever successfully really shown our followers how to be free completely of society's shackles. That's very difficult. But this lion certainly has our respect, because that is what this lion is tried to do here. Set itself free from society's shackles. So I said to my son, I wouldn't shit myself. I'd just give it a look of acknowledgement, and I'm sure it'd be fine. But if it would
give you the same back.
If it did get a bit saucy, I'd just kick it in the bollocks and do a runner.
Whoa.
Sorry, that's
Firework
fucking
display going off.
I don't know what the fuck's going on. My wife says it's Diwali, and my daughter says it's fucking Remembrance Sunday. And I said, well, either way, it's got to stop. Whatever it is,
it's not as important as Top Flight Time Machine.
Whether it's the fucking soldiers, the wonderful soldiers, the fallen, not to be confused with the fall, because a lot of people get Remembrance Sunday muddled up, and they think that it's some sort of mass national celebration or remembrance of the fall. It's not. That's another day. This is a remembrance of the fallen, which is different. It's similar, but it's different.
It could be cocaine-addled right-wing middle-aged men
running around going on about Marquis Smith and his contribution and how he suffered so the rest of us could live or something. Anyway, whether it's that or it's Diwali, I'm not happy, because the animals are shitting themselves, the dog's barking. I'm trying to do a podcast, and I'm going to stick my head over the back fence in a minute, and I'm going to go, listen, I'm all for multiculturalism.
I don't know. I don't care what your religion or creed is, but I'm trying to do a fucking podcast here.
Mate, no odds to me, right? We are all equal, whether you be Hindu, lion, or mad, cocaine-addled, middle-aged lunatic, right? Loser. Whatever you are, that's fine. But this has got to stop now. It is Sunday night, and I am trying to do my podcast, and my little cockapoo is shitting itself. So I'm not happy. I don't know. I guess I can't believe my daughter said, she just shouted from her bedroom, it's not Diwali, it's Remembrance Sunday. And I went, oh, fair enough. And I thought, actually, what the fuck does she know? She doesn't know. They're not letting off fireworks for Remembrance Sunday. Remembrance Sunday.
It's Diwali today.
What's the one thing that you associate with Remembrance Sunday? What one word? I'll tell you. Solemn. It is a solemn occasion, isn't it, Andy?
Yeah.
Very solemn. And I bet you, like me, you've been feeling quite solemn this whole weekend. Yeah?
Well, I've been hungover for most of the day, so I've been fairly solemn.
That's the ultimate sense of solemnness.
Sat there vegetating and watching darts on Sky Sports,
Well, that's very, very respectful of you.
I felt as if it was,
It was respectful.
Best way of paying me respects to the fallen and the fall.
Of the fallen. And I said to my kids, I said, these fights going off, I said, my grandfathers didn't fight in World War II.
Did they indeed fight in World War II? Or did you
no, that's what I'm saying. They didn't fight in World War II.
No.
That's it.
No, neither did
mine.
No.
One worked in the Kodak factory. I think he got off because he was making spy film. And the other one, he did something, but he didn't really have to leave the country. He went up to Scotland, so it was an easy posting. I don't know what his story was.
Mine worked down the mines, so obviously they needed to carry on working down the mines.
You needed the coal to fuel the planes and the cannons,
so in a way, they were on the front line as soldiers, kind of. Yeah. But although they were underground, well away from any of the action, as I think they call it. But
if
I'm
they
still proud of
didn't
them.
fight, neither of my grandfathers fought. But had they done so, Andy, they would not want their efforts to be remembered by a display like this one going out in the fucking neighbour's garden right now, which I'm not happy about. I have to say,
I've witnessed what's happened, and they haven't had very many fireworks there. It hasn't been spectacular.
Could you hear it, though?
Yeah,
there's shit fireworks.
As well.
You know what? Loud bangs, shit fireworks. Just like those racist blokes you saw at Waterloo Station yesterday.
Yeah.
They got a lot of fucking chat, but not much action.
There are a lot of fucking hell.
Right.
Yeah,
Fucking loud bangs, but not many sparkles.
not many. Yeah, yeah, that was quite something, wasn't it? Fucking hell. And there've been people the social media detectives have been finding out who they are and grassing them up to all and sundry. And one of them, the Arsenal shirt bloke, he's come from fucking Devon, apparently.
Well,
He's
you got
come
to
from Devon
admire
to
his
watch the
efforts. Going up. It takes fucking hours to get from Devon up to
I
London.
bet it does.
Right, he's done a fucking 4-5 hour journey in his replica shirt.
Yeah.
I'm going to London to cause some aggravation, and I'm wearing my Arsenal replica shirt because I want to be like one of the players.
Over the top of my hoodie so I don't get cold.
Yeah, exactly. I won't just put it. No, his mum's gone to him. But you'll be chilly. Well, Mum, put a jacket on. Well, if I put a jacket on, no one will see that I've got 41, which is the number of Declan Rice, our star player. Well, can't you put something underneath it? Very well, I'll put a hoodie underneath it. That way I won't get a chill. And what are you going to do when you get there? I'm going to get off the train and I'm going to run around shouting at people. I'm my Declan Rice replica shirt. And some people might even think I am Declan Rice. And if they ask me for my autograph, I'm going to go along with it. Fucking hell.
Oh no, the hood has covered the number, part of the number and the name Rice.
It's really hard to take.
It hasn't worked.
It's really hard to take any adult seriously in a replica shirt, isn't it? Because it's the equivalent of going out dressed up as someone from Star Wars or like Captain America, isn't it? It's like, I really like those Marvel films, Avengers. Oh yeah, they're good, aren't they? I like them too. I go and watch them with the kids. Yeah. But I really like them. Yeah, no, I like them too. Yeah, but I like them so much that when I go out, I wear the costumes of the guys in the film. I dress up as the characters, like as Iron Man or Captain America. I've got them all.
Yeah.
Oh, right. That's what an adult wearing a replica shirt is. I really like that football club. Yeah, I like them too, yeah.
Because
no, but
the
I like
players
them more
are-
than you.
the
I go
players-
as far as to dress up as the men who play in the team.
Because they are superheroes after all, aren't they?
Just to show
they're
people.
our heroes.
I like to show people in the street that I like them, and I kind of want to I go around pretending to be them. Oh,
I'm not just any of the footballers from Arsenal. I've chosen to be Declan Rice because
And
I
he
think
was the
he's
most
best one.
expensive, which means he must be the best. How much did that cost you? £85 plus £1 a letter, RICE, £4, and £3 for each of the numbers 4 and 1. Fucking hell. So hang on, so it's 85 plus 4, 9. Okay, so you're talking, well,
a lot.
it's best part of a fucking £100 you spent on that. That's
Could have gone
right.
out for a nice meal.
Yeah. Go for a lovely meal for that kind of money, couldn't you? Especially if you went out on your own. Oh, a
Fucking
lovely
hell, I was
slap
late
up
night out on
solo
your own.
curry.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's that then.
Look at this
So we've got
book that
Lion.
I've got, Andy.
What's
I
this
thought you'd
then?
like the title of it.
I'll read it out. It is called A Pebble for Your Pocket. A Pebble for Your Pocket. And where did you get this from? From church?
Someone gave it to me a while ago because it's it's the musings and thoughts of a man who's been described as the godfather of mindfulness, right?
Ooh.
His name's Thich Nhat Hanh, right? He
Right.
died recently. He was about a fucking 100. I think he was. I don't know where he was from originally. I think he might have been from Thailand, but he had some sort of compound in France. A mindfulness. He had a mindfulness compound.
And he got to live to 100.
Yeah.
Well, but he was well looked after.
Anyway, when I first was doing therapy and all that sort of stuff, someone said, "Oh, you got to get into Thich Nhat Hanh." So I was like, "Yeah, fine." I mean, I was very suggestible. It's like whatever you told me to get into, as long as it didn't involve drink and coke. I was like
Cocaine.
fucking open-minded about it, right? So I was like, "Yeah, I'll give him a go. Why not?" And then I got a bit into it, and then Oh, it says he was born in Vietnam. And then someone said to me, you know what? I said, they should teach this sort of stuff to kids in schools. And someone said, oh, well, actually, there's a book by Thich Nhat Hanh that's actually written for kids. So it's all his musings that you get in his other books that he knocks off.
Yeah.
Right? But it's thinner and it's got pictures in it. It's for kids.
That's
They
nice
said,
and
here you
easy.
go, I've got a copy. Give this to your kids. So I remember giving it to my daughter when she was like 11, maybe younger. And she was like, yeah, thanks, but shove it up your ass. And I was like, oh, okay. And then recently,
Quite right.
I've tried to give it to my son, like yesterday. That's why I've got it here, because I found it on the shelf. We were talking about something or other. I think they've been studying Buddhism in RE at school. And I was like, oh, yeah, great, Buddhism. Yeah, I've got some interesting books on that. One thing I've noticed, Andy, is that my kids hate it if I show an interest in whatever they're studying at school.
Yeah.
Right? Because they think, oh, no, he's going to start going on about, like, my daughter's doing politics A-level, right? I did politics A-level, and then I did a degree in politics, right? So that's what I think, right, I've got that's my specialist subject, which is a nightmare for her, because she thinks... So she said to me, she said, look, I'm taking politics, but it's got... First of all, you should know it's got nothing to do with the fact that you studied politics. That's not been an influence at all. So I was like, okay. And she said, and also... I don't want you to talk to me about it at all.
Ever.
Right? Yeah. And I was like, I can see that. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
And so I've had to just ignore the fact.
She says it's a coincidence that is causing me incredible distress.
Yeah, that was basically it.
I don't want you to engage with me ever.
Ever, yeah. She's like, if I ask her, so what are you doing in politics at the moment? She knows that's just a way of me hoping to get an opportunity to say it. It's like, going, oh, I remember my days of studying that, yes. It's like fucking reminiscing or telling her shit. And she doesn't need that in her life.
Jalapeño.
Here's a brief but annoying message to let you know that you wouldn't be hearing this brief but annoying message if you were a subscriber to our Iron Filing Society Patreon offering.
For the price of a pint and a St. Clement's each month, you can get up to 4 episodes a week, 9 months before the rest of the world gets them. Early access to regular episodes, lots of other marvellous benefits, and there's absolutely no adverts or brief but annoying messages like this that'll get right on your ticks.
Find out more and subscribe now at tftimemachine.com/ironfilings.
Jalapeño. Jalapeño.
So I've been cut out of that. So then with my son, he told me that he was doing Buddhism in RE, and I was like, oh, great, I have a wonderful book for you. And it's just here somewhere. And I searched the bookshelves for ages, and I found it, A Pebble for Your Pocket. And I was like, have a read of this. And he's just looked at it, he's flicked through, and he's just gone, Dad, put it back on the shelf. I'm never reading that. So I was a bit upset by that. So I thought I'd show it to you instead.
How do you pronounce it?
Thich Nhat Hanh.
Thich Nhat Hanh.
You spell it Thich.
Yeah. I'm on his
Nat,
Wikipedia.
Nhat, and then Hanh, Hanh.
I'm on his Wikipedia. He was exiled from South Vietnam in 1966 after expressing opposition to the war. He was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize in 1967.
Yeah.
And he founded that monastery you talked about in 1982.
Yeah.
But in 1979, he founded the paper chase chain of upmarket stationery.
Shut up. No, he didn't.
Yeah, I made that up. Sorry.
No, it was Ryman's. And Ryman's was eventually bought off of him, of course, by Theo Papadopoulos out of Dragon's Den.
Yeah, his real name was actually Thich Nhat Ryman, but he changed it for
yeah, that's right.
Work purposes.
That's right.
So you're going to read some of it out to us then? Are you going to just randomly dive
give it
into
a go.
We can decide for ourselves if it's any good or not.
They're little stories, Here's one. The Many Arms of Bodhisattva. In my experience, there are Buddhas and Bodhisattvas present here in our midst. A Bodhisattva, pronounced Bodhisattva, is a compassionate person. Oh, yeah. Someone who cares a lot about helping other beings. Yeah. And someone who vows to become a Buddha. Fuck yeah, that sounds a bit egotistical. Statues or pictures of Bodhisattvas sometimes show a being with many arms. They are shown this way because a bodhisattva is someone who can do 1,000 things at one time.
It's also the name of a really good song by Steely Dan.
Is it really?
Bodhisattva, I think it's pronounced.
Also, the arms of bodhisattva can be extremely long. Oh, like Mr. Tickle.
Yeah.
And reach very far. You know, like when Mr. Tickle reaches for a biscuit in his kitchen, but from his front
From his bed.
Yeah, that's it.
And then he reaches all the way round through the streets, all the way to the school, and into the window, and he tickles the teacher.
Yeah, that was based
Nice
on
one.
this. That was Mr. Tickle was based on a bodhisattva, or maybe vice versa. I don't know which came first. When you are a bodhisattva, with only 2 arms, we can only do 1 or 2 things at a time.
If we can be bothered.
It's a good point, isn't it?
Yeah.
But when you are a bodhisattva, you have many arms, and you can do many things simultaneously. Most of the time, we do not see all the arms of bodhisattva. One has to be very attentive in order to see the many arms of bodhisattva. Mate, this is bollocks.
It sounds like a lot. I
That's
wouldn't know
not-
that many arms, Sam.
This is not helpful. I'm glad my kids didn't read it. They said, why should we read it? And I said, well, it will help you with your mental health, and it will help you get a better perspective on things, and it might bring you extra peace. And they were like, nah. And now I think maybe they were right to reject it, because if it's just about some made up geezers like Mr. Tickle, but with loads of arms, he's more or less said, imagine Mr. Tickle, yeah? Imagine Mr. Tickle, you know what he can do? His arms can go for fucking miles, yeah? Imagine now Mr. Tickle, but with loads of arms, all of them the same length, eh? Now, does that make you feel more at peace with yourself?
Well,
Thinking about that.
How are you meant to relate to that? Are you meant to try and grow extra arms yourself? Is that what I was trying to tell you to do?
mate.
You're not doing enough. We need to be
Yeah.
all told that what we're doing is enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't fucking fret about it.
Here's another thing. Return to your... This chapter's called Return to Your Hermitage. This sounds more up our street, doesn't it?
Yeah, we've discussed hermitages before. They're
He said,
dwellings of
"One da-
interest, aren't
One
they?
day I decided to go to the beautiful woods near my hermitage, the place where I live. I took a sandwich and a blanket with me. This sounds very in our wheelhouse, doesn't it? Intending to spend a quiet day by myself in the woods. Yeah, brilliant.
Good.
That morning, before leaving the hermitage, I'd opened all my windows and doors to the sun to dry things out. But in the afternoon, the weather
What things?
changed.
What
He
things?
doesn't say. Well, everything was soaking wet in his house. Ugh.
What?
The night before, I had a few drinks, and in my sleep,
Things
it
got
appears
a bit
I had
wet.
pissed. I had pissed everywhere. I am a sleep pisser. The wind began to blow and dark clouds gathered in the sky. Remembering that I'd left my hermitage wide open, I thought, fuck, and decided to run home. When I arrived, I found my hermitage in a very terrible condition. It was fucked.
Parlour state.
It was cold and dark inside.
Oh,
The
no.
wind had blown my papers off the table. Oh, not my papers!
How
And
did
they
your
were
papers get wet then?
They were scattered all over the floor. It was not at all pleasant, he writes.
Oh, God, where's this
Doesn't
going?
sound it. He's gone into Ray Wilkins speak here. It wasn't at all pleasant in the least. The first thing I did was to close all the windows and doors. Then I lit the lamp for some light. The third thing I did was to make a fire in the fireplace to warm the place up. When the fire was lit, I picked up the papers from the floor and put them on the table. And I placed a stone on them. Should have done that in the first
Should have
place,
done
mate.
that. There's 2 things that he should have done. There's
Paperweight.
that, and also, if you've got a hermitage and you plan to have a day out in the woods,
Yeah.
fucking check the weather forecast first.
Exactly. Haven't you got a fucking app? And also, if you leave doors open, any cunt can go in and nick your stuff.
Ransack your hermitage. Nick your papers.
Nick your secret papers. Nick your fucking PlayStation.
Nick your
Nick the
stone.
lot, mate. Nick your fucking watch. I went back to the fireplace. The fire was burning beautifully. Now there was light and I was warm. I sat there and listened to the wind howling outside. I imagined the trees tossing in the wind and I felt very content. I think that's very smug, isn't it, that feeling?
A little bit, yeah.
Listen to that out there.
Needless to say.
Glad I'm not out there getting fucking blown about like a silly cunt. I'm in here.
It'll be Hermitage.
Yeah.
With me Jim Jabs on. Needless to say, I had the last laugh.
He's like, it was pleasant sitting next to the fire. I could hear my breathing, my in-breath and my out-breath.
Oh, good.
I felt very comfortable, and so on and so on.
That's it,
So
right,
that's
forth.
a pebble for your pocket. I think it's available on Amazon. Look it up. It's a hell of a read.
Yeah, good. Good.
The summary of that story is: I was out once, and it started. The weather turned. It started pissing down. So I went home,
Sorted
turned the
out.
heating on, shut the windows, and shut the door, and just had a bit of a sit down. And that was it. That was my day.
I think you can all learn from that.
Take from
Think
that
about
what
that.
you will.
Yeah. Fucking hell. Oh, you said you were going to give us an update on your dad the other day.
Well,
I
my
don't
dad's
mention
much
that.
better, and he sent us a sort of a group message to all of us who'd been sort of trying to take it in turns to visit every day and make sure he's all right. He sent us a very polite but very frank sort of, can you all just fuck off now? Right? Which I really respected. He was like, he actually wrote,
Yeah.
It's been very nice seeing so much more of you over the last few weeks. But I just think that now I'm almost completely healed, and it just isn't necessary. So thanks all the same. And he wrote something like, "I'll see you all when I see you." Like, fuck off.
Fucking hell.
And I thought, yeah,
No rush.
But, you know, like a lot of parents, especially ones who live on their own, they try to guilt trip like their kids into, oh, you never come and see me, and all of this. Whereas I'm quite lucky because my dad's the sort of opposite. He's like, can you stop coming to see me? But the main thing that I wanted to update you about is that, you know, you go round there and you see him, and he, like any old person, and probably as listeners to this podcast will testify, me as well, and I'm only 48, you do tend to retell the same stories a lot. And one story or like topic that my dad kept returning to and recently told my kids when I wasn't there, I was in New York and my daughter was round there, and she said, your dad keeps telling me this story about his something called his sympathetic nervous system. And I went, oh, yeah, his sympathetic nervous system. This is an old classic. Did he tell you the story about when he started pissing blood but didn't care at all, wasn't scared? And she went, yeah. And I said, did he tell you the story about when he crashed his car and it rolled across 3 lanes on a motorway and he wasn't scared at all? And she went, yeah, he told me that as well. I said, yeah, this is his parasympathetic nervous selection category of stories, which is basically one night he got up in the night and he turned the bathroom light on and he had a piss and it was bright red, right? Ooh. And he thought, I'm pissing pure blood, so I must be dying. That's a classic sign, right? That's what he thought.
Of course it is.
It's not necessarily, by the way, people listening, I'm not a doctor, but it's not. If it does ever happen to you, it's not a death sentence necessarily. But obviously, go and see your GP immediately. But anyway, I've gone. He said, and I wasn't scared at all. And he told his wife of the time, his second wife, and she was like, "Oh my God, you must be really scared. Let's call an ambulance, call a doctor." He said, "No, it'll be fine. I'm just going to go back to sleep and I'll sort it out in the morning." And he went, "She thought I was extremely brave, but the truth is, I just genuinely wasn't bothered or scared, right?" And then I realised that had happened to me throughout my life. Like one time, I crashed my car on the motorway, and it rolled across both lines, and both lanes. Then it rolled across the central reservation for another lane, and somehow I didn't die. But the whole time the car was rolling, and I could hear all these cars swerving and beeping, I wasn't scared at all. I would say I didn't even feel my pulse quicken in the least.
Yeah, just a level of serenity. Yeah.
So I was like, oh, all right. And he went, so anyway, his wife, right, she told a doctor or psychiatrist this, and apparently the doctor went, that's interesting. Does he suffer from asthma, right? And she said, yeah, he does. He's an asthma sufferer. And he went, well, then that is, we know what's going on here. And I have diagnosed him. It's very clear to me that he has and what did he call it? He goes, he has an understimulated parasympathetic nervous system, which
Wow.
effectively means this. This is what the point of all of these stories are that my dad has told all of us, and now my daughter countless times. The theme of the story is he is never scared of anything. He does not feel. He says it's a shame in a way. He goes, because it's made me put myself in dangerous situations. But I have a condition which means I don't experience fear.
Yeah,
That's fascinating, isn't it?
it is. Does he get carry a card so in case anything happens?
I think he has to wear a dog tag round his neck, and they just say, "Alert! This
Scared
man
of nothing.
This man fears nothing or no one."
Unscarable.
Yeah. Like if he saw a lion walking down the street, he would just not give a fuck. He did one time we were on holiday in Italy with my relatives, and there was a snake on the loose. And I must say, everyone was shitting themselves about this snake, right? It was in Sardinia. Everyone on the resort we were staying on was shitting themselves. This rumour went round about a snake in the resort, and all the kids were running around screaming. And my dad got hold of a broom and chased the snake and was whacking it in the bushes with a broom and stuff like that. And all of it, and he did get like legendary status. All of the kids were going back to their mums and going, inglese, crazy man. It's just the snake with broom.
Just snake
The
chaser.
English just snake man. Yeah. So anyway, that's my dad. He doesn't feel fear, so that's really nice for him, isn't it?
That's brilliant. That kind of makes a lot of sense, I think, when you think about some of the things he's said and done over the years.
I know, it was a shame it's not genetic, because I do feel fear occasionally. It's a sensation that I have experienced in my, like on roller coasters, for example. I remember once at the old main road, City Away, that used to be a tough away day.
Yeah.
I got into a situation there that made me feel fear. Roller coasters, what else?
I've suddenly realised that I'm scared of heights. I used my extendable ladder recently to reattach a loose roof tile, and I was only about 12 feet up, but I was fucking terrified.
Yeah,
even
a squat. But I think that I've read before, Andy, that can, like, you get late onset vertigo.
Right, that's what that is then. Yeah. I'm glad we've sorted that
as
out.
you get older, lots of things scare you. My mum had these elderly aunts called Miri and Margaret, and in their dotage, I was remembering my brother today. They used to call my mum up about fucking anything that was going on in their life, and they would be in. And I remember once a hedgehog was in their garden, and they rang the house at 7:00 in the morning, and they were, I'm not joking, in tears, right? And they were going, "Oh," to my mum, "Oh, bro, we didn't know what to do. We haven't had a moment's sleep all night. Oh," and they were like, "It shredded Miriam's nerves. Oh, we're going to have to call the doctor." And she's like, calm down. "What is it? What's happened?" They go, "There's a hedgehog in our garden. It's been there all night. It's not moving. It's just there in the middle of the lawn. We don't know who to call. Who are you supposed to call when your garden's been invaded by a hedgehog?" Right? And she's like, "It's fine. It'll just move on." "You don't know that. And what are we supposed to do in the meantime? We're prisoners in our own home."
We need to go out and get the shopping in. We're
Yeah,
going to
exactly.
starve to death.
But my mum was like, when they were younger, they were, they'd fucking been part of the war effort. They'd had fucking bombs dropping on them, right, in the Blitz, and had been fine, carried on living, like, working, going about their business. And then they get older, and they can't handle a hedgehog being in their garden.
Well, that's fucking hell. That's something to look forward to, isn't it, as we all get older?
Fear.
That kind of increase in fear. Shit.
Yeah, you become more fearful with age, unfortunately. Unless
Right,
you're
well,
my
let's-
dad. But he's blessed, of course, with his conditions, so...
All right, that's about it, I reckon.
Yeah,
We've
why
covered
not?
everything we need to. The lion, and the other stuff. The pebble in the pocket.
Pebble in the
And,
pocket.
we will. Oh yeah, the predictions. Fucking hell. 3 points for you, Sam. 5 points for me. Fucking 9 points
Fucking hell.
for result spot.
Did you watch
have
that?
I worked that out wrong? No, sorry, 6 points for result, but it was 9 last week, wasn't it? Well, it's still not good. It's still extended its lead
No,
over us,
it's a
48 to
complete
36 to
nightmare.
31. This has never happened before. I don't know how we're supposed to cope with it, but we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. We are very bad at predicting this season, it seems, because last season I got 145 and I can't see 36 points at this stage of the season. Is it a third of the way through the season, maybe? Probably. So
Yeah.
we're looking at 108 maybe if you extrapolate that out across the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's
Fucking
worrying,
hell.
isn't it?
Big trouble. Big trouble. You start working harder. Anyway, that's it from us, and we'll be back throughout the week with all the other stuff. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
Goodbye.